And hello, everybody. This is Chris from the Stewart Buzz. We are here again with the degenerates that drive around in the RV that causes so much controversy. By the way, the gentleman that was a police officer, very nice man, by the way. I saw him this morning giving a ticket by somebody that you just parked on that same road over there. He was right there giving a ticket.
Wow.
I thought of you.
Well, he's probably looking for us.
I said the same dude's here that he must have worked last night and then he's working again today, so he must be on the day shift.
Well, obviously he doesn't work for the federal government because he has to show up for work.
That's true. Unfortunately, Elon is giving them a second chance.
Oh, that's very nice of
That's
him.
very nice of him. Listen, I don't disagree with what he's doing, by the way, to be honest with you, because I think that people should go to work
100.
instead of sitting home in their pajamas and pretending they're working.
Yeah, versus going to work in their pajamas.
That's that's what they're doing right now. So they have to wear real clothes. I don't even think they have any anymore. Did you write what you accomplished over the last week? By the way, because I'm looking for it. That's what he's looking for. I'm looking at it from you.
Did we what?
So Musk is asking them, what did you accomplish last week? And email me.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, what did you accomplish last week?
Should I email you?
Oh, you can. My email is Casper Parano. What is it? Psychic and the Genie at yahoo.com. I have so many emails. Forget about that. Anyway, so you had an agenda, but I want to just touch base on one thing. And we touched a little bit on it yesterday, and that is the controversy. And I had asked Blake whether or not there was more positive feedback with the RV or negative feedback. Do people think that you're just trying to antagonize people, or you're just doing that naturally?
So we're just minding our own business, really. Like we went to Berry Fresh to have breakfast. We go to a place, we park. They see Trump. There's 95% of it's positive, okay? But when you have the people that have the TDS, which is a real thing, we witness it every day, they completely dismiss the rest of the RV, JFK, Martin Luther King, Iwo Jima, and they don't know how to deal with it. They go crazy.
And they focus. I said this in a post. I said it to you personally. I said, why are these people focusing on one thing and not the amazing other stuff?
Yeah.
I call it a bipartisan RV. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
But people don't see it that way. I guess what I'm trying to say is you have a mission. And you've already stated your mission on these things, but do you find that mission with these blockages to be able to get the mission out as easily as you thought you might be able to?
No, that's interesting because actually it's not easy, but it definitely has had a bigger impact than I ever imagined. I mean, when I left in California, it was kind of like, well, I'm going to Butler. Because the second time.
That's a B. So
no, that'd be California B. That's backwards. Yeah, I should have went to Butler first, then California.
Get correct.
And Alabama before both.
That's
but anyway,
correct.
Having said that, thank you for the correction.
You're welcome, sir. I went to school. I graduated at 6th grade.
I graduated twice from the 3rd grade.
That's
But that's another story. So anyway, I did not anticipate the impact that it would have.
Both positive and negative?
I did not anticipate the positive impact being overwhelming the way it was. I did expect, positive impact, but it was overwhelming. And so as I was driving across the country, I was hearing on the news, it's a close race. And after about halfway, it's like, no,
it's not close race.
It's not even close. It's a runaway.
That's correct.
So it's been a very positive
thing.
They
call that a landslide, by the way.
Yeah, right. But it's been very positive, and even to this day, it's extremely positive. But you have we'll call them the hinged, that are now off the hinge because they have no place to hide.
And they have no leader.
And they just can't show up teaching school anymore, men in dresses. It's not working out
I'm just wondering, why don't Newsom be a leader? It must be amazing, isn't it?
Okay, well, you want to get into Newsom?
I got one question, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you drive your RV around California?
I did. I actually went to some of the hot spots. I didn't make it into Central, but I was in Santa Monica, LA, Hollywood.
What did they say to you?
They most people, they'd kind of walk them, go, man, we're so sick of this nonsense with these people. You know, we're sick of Newsom. We're sick of all this stuff. We're sick of Biden. But they wouldn't really project it. They didn't want to get on the motorhome, but they would kind of look around.
That's what they do in my store. So they'll look
Right.
at my store like this.
Yeah, right.
I'll come out and say, oh, by the way, God made these crystals. And then like, oh, okay. And then they come in.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
but they're always afraid that I'm like a gypsy.
Well, I
You
think.
kind of look like one.
Yeah, he kind of. Well, actually, you know what? Doesn't he look like? We went over this yesterday. Joe Rogan. We're going to call him
Joe Rogan.
Joe Brogan. So this is the Joe Brogan show.
Joe Brogan.
We don't want any copyright infringements. So
No, but Brogan.
Brogan's not copyright.
This is the Stewart podcast. It sounds too much. Do you know that you can actually get sued if it was intentionally to sound like something else, like a song?
Yeah.
And you can take the melody of the song, of somebody else's song,
Kind of
and
like
the words can be
Zeppelin.
completely different, and you can get sued
they
from
were
that.
accused of that. Well, anyway, so Joe.
My name is Chris, by the way.
Okay, I just get confused sometimes.
Yes, you get confused easily. We know that. Blake and I had a conversation about that. So instead of driving, so how this all came about is he always drove in a little yellow bus.
Yeah, the short bus.
And he had the short bus. So
No, I didn't-
as he got older, he wanted to compensate for some shortages that he might have. So he got a bigger bus.
Right. That's what guys do.
No, but seriously,
They compensate.
In California, they were more resistant to you than. Well, why did you pick Florida? I did ask.
Okay. Actually, they weren't. They were just as on board. And actually, California, I don't know the statistic, but I know it's over 75% red. You have pockets.
Well, now it is.
Well, no, it was before.
Well,
But
you
look
do
at-
know the
I know, I
media
live there,
and the
yeah.
movies and all those actors. You know, they're
No, but that's in a geographical area. So if you start from Frisco down the coast, then it's predominantly blue. But you look at California as a mass, and it's a massive state, is more than 75% red. And so with this last little episode of the fires and the incompetency,
which
of,
we are sorry to hear for the people that are suffering from that.
yeah, I won't. So the bottom line is that this next in 2026, it's going to be Reagan red again. By the term for the House seats, it's going to be Reagan red. That's my prediction. Meaning, we'll pick up more seats in the House, which is part of our mission. Logical conservative, right? Is to pick up more red seats to secure a 4-year term for President Trump versus being a 2-year tug-of-war president.
Yeah, and actually, I think the reason behind a lot of that is not just the fires, but how they're allocating the funds, right? So Newsom spent $50 million on combating the
Hair gel.
Trump. Well, but in all seriousness, he spent $50 million of the budget. This is after the wildfires. This was on the 13th of January. Decided to spend $50 million on combating a Trump presidency and to help with the illegals from being deported.
Instead of what he was supposed to be allocated to.
Yes, and it just shows you, and being from California, and of course I've been told to go back to California. But
Yeah,
we've already had the
numerous
discussion.
times.
But having said that, the incompetency in that sector, the government of California is ridiculous. Newsom, what do they call him?
Pelosi.
Gruesome? Not Gruesome. What is it?
Pelosi.
Anyway, what's
Newscomb.
Newscomb is just a joke. Pelosi.
They're getting rid of the
they're a
Pelosi
joke.
building, by the way. Have you heard
They
about
should.
that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
Good though.
They're
Bass.
actually taking the name off the building.
Bass, the mayor of LA, a joke. The fire chief that had to resign because of her incompetency and her being appointed because of what she was, resigned.
Tell me if you know this, because you're more educated in this than I am. But I heard that there was a lack of water due to human fault.
Yes.
Not necessarily, Mother Nature. But
Correct.
I heard it was moved away from where it was supposed to go, and that caused the wildfires to spread more. Is that a fact?
Yeah, it
Do you
is.
know?
And here's kind of a mini example of it. Big Bear Lake, where I live, they have, no matter what the lake level is, as a general statement, they have to release so much water down into the valley for the little mosquitoes or whatever they are, so they can have their habitat. And again, there should be that, but not at the expense of risking, massive destruction, in this case, to Big Bear. So when that lake's down, or in this case, the reservoirs in the LA area, they did not fill them up. And of course, they're saying, well, it was maintenance, which is just garbage. But they try to like create all these little mini habitats. They withhold the water. They don't release the water from the higher elevations, Central California. And in essence, that's what happened. They didn't have the water to fight the fires. They're trying to save the little tree squirrel or something.
So, I don't know Newsom. He was never my governor or anything like that. Of course.
Not mine either.
Well, I know, but he was. So, I guess my question is, how long did you live in California?
I have lived there since 1958.
Okay, so you're old as dirt.
Yeah.
So, since you knew Newsom,
No play.
at one point, did you think that he was good?
I can just tell you, growing up in California, you see the progression of different people, especially people that, like Reagan, for example, that want to be on the major political scene. And that's kind of a stepping ground. But what happened in the last, let's say, 25 years, well, actually, just before that with Jerry Brown, you could see it progressively kind of getting worse and worse. And then Newsom just took it to a whole new level of, just garbage. The homeless, allocating, you have veterans out sleeping under bridges, and you have homeless by choice that want to be homeless, and they're giving them these accommodations. And actually the homeless wind up fighting them over not wanting to go to a nice accommodation, but yet the veterans and people that really need help are scrambling to, just to live under the bridge or in a cardboard box.
There's 187,000 homeless people right now, and there's been a 3% increase over the past year.
Is that in California?
Yep. 187,000 without stable housing currently.
That's quite a bit. I wonder, out of that 187,000, how many are vets?
I don't know, but I know that when I'm driving the area, especially the LA area and that sort of thing, you see a lot of the veterans. And actually,
and the reason why he thinks it might be is because they are Americans that are homeless. Like I don't want to get politically involved with that because I don't care about ethnicity or anything like that. It's not important. But how do you know that they're vets?
Okay, so I stop and talk to them.
Okay, cool.
And a lot of them, you'll see them flying a mini flag. And,
right.
It's kind of like homes, there's some form of patriotism versus a homeless guy with a needle sticking out of his arm, right?
Correct.
So, but I'd stop and talk to them, and they would tell me, oh yeah, my friends from such and such are over here, and they're all veterans, and, we've tried, the VA and all these things, and it's just like, it's a roadblock. But again, you have, Newsom and crew that just stonewall them because these are actually patriotic people.
Well, actually, and to go back to what you just said, a lot of the veterans are drug addicts because they're not getting the care that they need. So some of those homeless people that you do see that maybe the drug addiction is caused from that, but it's caused from something deper, right? Than them just being like, oh, they're just addicted to drugs, right?
No, PTSD, all this other stuff.
It's things that are not being treated like, on a mental health scale. And it's not a coincidence that there was an opiate epidemic that happened shortly after we went to Afghanistan. Right. I think there's a lot of correlation with that. And I actually feel bad. Instead of just scrutinizing the people, we need to be, holding our government accountable with actually taking care of some of these people.
Well, actually, it seems like it's going towards that direction of holding the government accountable now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait for him to show up at Fort Knox and count the gold. I can't wait for that one. Actually, Blake, I think that's where we're going to roll when that happens. We're going to Fort Knox.
Painting bricks of wood.
Getting into Fort Knox.
No, I don't mean getting in it. I mean be that direction. And
but there's always been a joke ever since I was a kid, and probably since you were a kid. Is like, no, this building is like Fort Knox. You can't get in
right.
it. I mean, remember that saying?
No, that was before my time.
No, it wasn't.
It actually was.
You're older than me, and it was in my time, so it couldn't have been before your time. but it's probably before Blake's time.
He was around when Alfred Hitchcock made his first movie, right?
Right. Well, actually, the Model T, I think it was. That was my first car.
That's right. He cranked it to start it. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it had pedals. First, it had pedals.
Like Fred Flintstone.
Exactly.
So anyway, Newsom. I believe I heard, this could be rumor. I really don't know if this is even true, that there's some sort of relation between Newsom and Pelosi.
Yes, they're related
And
through family.
I'm going to ask you one silly question. Do you think there should be term limits on the Senate and on the Congress? Because there are people, both on the Republican and Democrat side, they're like 150 years old. There was one lady just before she passed, which is
Ruth
sad.
Bader Ginsburg.
And the lady next to her said, "Oh, just say yes and raise your hand."
Right.
And shortly after that, she passed away. But she was not of sound mind.
So again, I think definitely there should be term limits on any type of government office so that, again, it's about we the people. And we the people over the years change, the generations change. So if you have somebody living from 75 years ago in today's environment, it's a different world.
Right.
So there should be term limits just out of fairness. And of course, it should politically be more accessible for somebody like, let's say, us to get involved at a political level versus it all be about money. I mean,
Right, like we were talking
you couldn't run for president. I couldn't run for president. I guess our little buddy Gary could, but
Gary Barr.
yeah, Gary. But nobody can run for president because it just costs.
I don't know, Gary.
Yeah,
Oh, you don't want to.
I'm the #1 Trump supporter.
Oh man.
Oh, is that right?
Well, yeah, that's a
let's
whole
not get
other
even
story.
into that.
But actually, speaking of money, so I was just reading this, and it says, so Gavin Newsom's wife, right? She has a nonprofit organization that received substantial donations from corporations lobbying the state government. So
Read it one more time.
So it's Jennifer Newsom's nonprofit organization received substantial donations from corporations lobbying the state government.
Okay, so they don't make a profit over that.
No, of course, no profit, non-profit.
Because it said
ever
it
do.
right there.
Right, it says non-profit.
It says it right there.
Right
They
there.
wouldn't lie.
Right there. It's like the Salvation Army. They own all this property, but they're not making a profit.
Do you
I mean, I don't get it.
Do you know how much money the Salvation Army owns in property just in Manhattan alone?
In Big Bear Lake, where I live, they have a camp up there, and they own streets of property.
Right. I actually managed 3 of their properties.
Wow.
They're huge. They were in Manhattan. They were huge. They do some good.
No, of course
by the
they
way,
do.
they really
Yeah.
do. They had a women's shelter that I managed, and then there was the main headquarters in Manhattan I managed through another company. So they hired another company to take care of that. I belonged to another company, but that's irrelevant. So you decided, okay, I had enough of California. I'm done with California. Now I'm going to take this RV that I wrapped on the road and see what I get.
Well, yes, and it was, I love California. It's a great state. It's very diverse, beautiful areas, lots of great people. But I decided, hey, look, this election is so important that I'm going to do whatever I think I can do to try to have some form of impact. I've got 3 grandkids, 2 kids. I don't want them living in a world where it's constantly a bunch of garbage.
Where do they live?
My son lives in Montana, and my daughter lives in Southern California. And so it was important to, and again, it was just one of those things, I kind of got involved in it, and the next thing you know, it turned into a snowball and kept going. So initially, I wound up, my first, we'll call it stop, was actually Butler, Pennsylvania, for the Trump rally, the second one, after he was shot. And so from there, I had different requests.
So when you were in Butler, the same time as he was there?
I was, but it was the second time. Right?
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you, did the Secret Service tell you that you can't park your RV somewhere? Or were you harassed there?
Yes, but backing up just a little bit, the first Trump rally I went to was in Pacific Palisades area, and there's just one funnel into the golf course. And I was parked literally within here to the street on the high side of where the motorcade would come in. And that motorhome was initially swept, wasn't talked about, Secret Service was almost non-existent. I mean, to show you what a joke. And then when I went to Butler the second time after the event, I walked ARG, which was next door, when they were kind of on lunch, let's say, security. And I walked along the fence line and I saw where the building was, where that shooter was. And it's like I could throw a baseball twice and hit the stage. It was just a clear shot. So it was just ridiculous.
You just wonder how that could have happened.
It had to be intentional.
Well, intentional by who?
Again, I'm not privy to all of that, but what was JFK? Was it
I'm just
intentional,
asking
an
your
accident, or-
opinion.
Well, I
And
think
this is all opinions, by the
Yes.
way. This is not fact. This is opinions. Like, if the dude's laying on a roof and civilians are yelling at the police, there's a dude on the roof, there's a dude on the roof, there's a dude on the roof, and nobody did anything. What does that mean to you?
Well, what it means to me is that there was some form of looking the other way, not paying attention. I'm not going to say trained, because a lot of those people that were there, police officers, et cetera, are very well trained. But it was, where were those trained personnel actually positioned? I wasn't there. But again, you can't get on a roof. You can't get on the roof with a rifle. You can't be laying there. You can't have people saying, everybody go, oh, well, what's going on? I mean, if somebody walked across the street right now with a rifle, you would have Stuart PD there probably in about, well, maybe a few minutes.
Well, I know they
They'd
come
be
for
there.
RVs, so.
Well, they do. They're there in minutes.
Exactly.
What does that shirt? What does that shirt
Oh, yeah,
say?
yeah.
I haven't even seen that shirt.
Yeah, so after the Berry Fresh incident, everybody was talking about, and I thought, well, I'm gonna go ahead and stand up. So I had a shirt made that said,
Don't be a Mitch.
"Don't be a Mitch," and Mitch is the owner.
I'm sure there must have been a misspelling. He wanted to
Yeah.
have a B there, I'm sure.
Actually, I think it sends a better message. Don't be a Mitch, which means don't sit there and jump to a conclusion.
Don't jump to conclusions and make rash decisions, right? And don't make Facebook posts when you
Right.
don't know the whole story.
Right.
There are many people that have commented without knowing the whole story.
Well, and I mean, let's just face it. That's just a fact of life when it comes to everything on social media. You have even on the right side, right, which annoys the heck out of me. There'll be people that'll share things that I know for a fact aren't true, right? Like just recently, there was something about Matt Gaetz being set up as special prosecutor, right? That's not true. But I saw people on the right sharing it. So this is what happens. People always want to be the first one to get the news out there. They're so willing to
Whether
do
it's
it.
real or not.
Whether
because
it's real or
want-
not.
yeah.
They want to be like, I posted it first, I got it. And
Ask
they're
for
wanting
the
to be quick.
forgiveness afterwards,
Yeah, and so just because for the sole fact they want to be first and have it out there, they're putting out a false narrative or false information, and it makes both sides look bad, and it misinforms the public, right? Especially older folks. No offense, Mike. But they do. The older folks are on Facebook. This is, I can only imagine when I'm Mike's age.
Wow. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. My hand that signs the checks isn't gonna be working.
It's not working anymore.
It's not gonna be
That's okay.
working.
We'll have
It's not gonna be working.
We'll have
It's not gonna be working. Because I'm old. I'm not gonna be able to sign.
there's the power of attorney.
I would do
Which
that.
you need to head down to Costa Rica for a weekend.
I have a very important question for both of you, and I want both of you to answer
Don't say
on your
honestly.
own belief, okay?
Okay.
I'll go with Mike first.
No, go with him first. I want to hear this.
Okay. Do you think that President Trump is going to attempt to run for a second term after this term is up?
No.
Okay, cool. And the reasoning behind that?
Oh, the reasoning behind it is because J.D. Vance is going to run in 2028, for one thing. And not only that, but I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know the limitations. You have 2 terms. That's all I know. Whether
Yeah.
they're consecutive or not, I don't think it matters. And every time I hear someone say it, I kind of be like, no, from what I know,
You just
have
can
2
run
terms.
2 terms total.
Exactly. That's
I mean,
it.
Yeah.
So legally standing, he can't even do it.
Legally
from
standing,
from
you can't do a lot of shit, but that's besides the point.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's no. It's not good.
So, okay, I'm just asking, and what do you think?
As much as I wish he would, the probability, I mean, he is wanting to enjoy his life and his family. And I think this 4 years, he'll set up what is going to work for the next 4, 8, 12 years. So I think he'll hand the torch off.
Do you think
And I think Barron's not far behind to take the torch.
that is what I hear people saying. That is what I hear people saying.
Yeah.
He'll be another Abraham Lincoln because Abraham Lincoln was the tallest president.
Well, actually, he would be taller than, wouldn't he?
Right, he is. He would be taller
Yeah.
by 1 inch.
So under the U.S. Constitution's 22nd Amendment, he cannot run for a third term. You have 2 terms. That's it.
Correct. You hear all the cackling in the background from the girls outside.
That's crazy.
Probably they're talking about the motorhome.
Okay, no. That's Jeannie and the Harborware lady. So
That's
those are my good
wild that you
people.
can pick that up.
You can hear it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? It won't come onto here.
Oh wow.
It just like will. I don't know how it gets rid of it, but it does. So you don't think he'll run, but do you think J.D. Vance is the man that would win?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do you find it strange that J.D. Vance is pretty much unseen right now and that Musk is attached to the hip of Trump? What is your opinion on it first, Mike?
Again, I think that J.D. Vance is really the person that will run and win. I think Musk's role is that, yes, he is attached to the hip because there are things right now from the economic side that he's very, very well versed in running companies. J.D. Vance, I don't know what business experience he
Have
has.
you ever watched his movie?
I haven't.
J.D. Vance?
I haven't.
I urge you to watch that movie. It is amazing. It's his life growing up. When he was on stage, he actually introduced his mother on stage and telling everybody that she is, I think it was 6 years sober and how proud he is of her. But he went through hell. He went through hell as a child. He was raised by his grandparents, I believe. He had a really tough life growing up, and he is now vice president of the United States. It will, even you, Mike, bring a tear to your eye.
I don't know.
Well, listen, if I told you the
bastard
way
that he is.
if I told you the way I grew up, I rivaled J.D. Vance from the stories I've heard. Trust me.
Yeah, but I'm sorry that you had to grow up that
No,
way.
actually, it was actually pretty exciting.
Right? It does give you personality, though.
It does.
But it actually made him a better man, as I'm sure it did you.
Absolutely.
But honestly, I urge you to watch the movie. I thought it was pretty good. Let's get back to Newsom.
Oh, yes.
Because
Newsom. New
is
scum. Call him new scum.
Newsom is going to actually go against J.D. Vance, I'm pretty sure.
You know, that's interesting because after this burn down of California,
That's true.
and
He's got a lot of enemies there.
He's got a lot of enemies. Cali's going to be red. They'll be voting red. I don't see it in the cards for him just because of
No
how
pun intended to what I do, of course.
Yeah, right. I don't see it in the crystals for him. And again, he's created such a bad image for California. He's created such a bad image for government. I don't see it happening. But you know what? Look, what people forget is Kamala was from Kamala or whatever her name is. Kamala. Yes. Well, anyway, this wasn't even brought up.
That was not for me, by the way, Camelback.
Camelback.
She was from California. Pelosi's from California. Boxer was from California. Bass is from California. All these people that every time you say their name, people cringe.
What about that Warren chick?
I don't know where Mars, I think.
She's a Native American, right?
Oh, that's right.
Lord,
Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Yeah, Pocahontas. Yeah, no, that's correct.
Go there, please.
I think she worked at McDonald's, though.
Now, I'm going to ask you one more thing since you're a Trumper.
I'm a freedom guy.
Understood. But you do support him.
100%.
And you know what? Your prerogative, and that's great. The little baby nicknames that he gives people.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool, actually.
Do you?
I think it's funny.
Like I call you Joe Rogan. It helps me remember.
I understand because you're not president of the United States. Now,
But it's his personality.
correct.
Remember Chris Berman on NFL football? He'd do his Monday nights, and
That's
he would
NFL
always-
football.
Yeah,
We're talking about the president of the
No,
United States.
but he would have nicknames for everybody.
The most powerful man in the world.
He's still a human being and a man.
And remember this, Chris. This is exactly why he won, because he was a breath of fresh air from the fake. They knew exactly what they saw is what they're getting, And actually, what a lot of people are like, oh, I wish he would tone it down a little bit. Every little bit that some people would say they don't like about Trump is the exact reason why I voted for him. And that's actually why I like him, because I like someone that's real and authentic over someone who's fake, especially in politics. The more you get involved, the more you see how fake people are and how they rub each other's, they brown nose each other, and it's annoying. So, no, I 1000% am happy that he's authentic.
And I was kind of hoping that you guys would go that way. But there are some times, like, you don't call the dude from North Korea Little Rocket Man.
I think that's funny, too.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think
It's just like,
And I think you played
It's a
Elton
power
John.
move.
I think you played Elton John.
it's a power move. It's a psychological power move,
It is a
because you're
psychological
not
power
taking
move.
him serious.
as he's doing right now.
Yeah.
He'll say, I'm gonna make tariffs on you so much because you need us more than we need you.
Well, that's true.
And they back right down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
Canada
if it
being
works,
the
it works.
51st state, right? I mean,
Calling him Governor Trudeau. I love it. I love it. It's great. Honestly, it's great. It's a breath of fresh air for me.
It is. Hopefully, they're gonna actually get rid of all the income tax too.
And especially after this past 4 years, I mean, think about it. We had a guy that was never even doing press conferences.
And that's correct.
And now you got someone that's just blowing everybody out of the water. You had Joy Reid, who just her show got canceled recently, and that was cool because she's terrible. She's a huge
Have you
racist.
seen Biden since?
No.
Right.
now that you mention it,
Where is he? Not one view, not one beach chair, not one anything, not one falling off the bike thing. Now, mind you, I want to put this out there because if the man is suffering from some sort of dementia or some sort of Alzheimer's, I am truly sorry that you're suffering through that in the family, because my mother had to deal with that.
Well, his wife should be scrutinized for allowing it.
Agreed. And
That's elder abuse.
She was pushing him in front of everybody when she knew he couldn't do the job.
well, when
Yeah.
you say stuff about me, wouldn't that be elder abuse? Wouldn't you say?
In a
I'm
way,
66,
yes,
going on
that's
67
true.
in
And
2
since
weeks.
he also
He's
has
33
dementia
going on
and
34. I
Alzheimer's.
think that would be elder abuse.
He said you also have dementia.
Wow. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything. So no, but I have not seen anything. I heard that he actually signed up for some sort of TV show. I did.
Now, is there a joke coming with this?
No, there is absolutely no joke. I
Give me the
swear.
punchline.
I'm telling you, Google it, dude. Did Joe Biden sign
I
up
know
for a
what it
TV
is.
show?
Truth or consequences?
No, that was a long time ago.
Nobody's signing up for that show. And so you guess whether he's telling the truth, and there's consequences, which means he'd have a lot of consequences.
Yeah, he would lose that.
It's no longer Google, it's ChatGPT.
See, because you're old. See?
It's no longer Google. It's now chat.
So you're a
Is that
good
true?
coach, buddy.
He said, yeah.
I just used it. I mean,
No, Google, you're
there.
not understanding. So I use ChatGPT, which is
okay.
artificial intelligence.
Yes, of
So
course.
because it'll do a search of all the web, not just Google itself. It'll do it throughout everything and give
Make
me
a
the
note of
best
that.
possible answers.
Make a note of that for yourself.
Is there an answer on there?
It says, as of February 25th, 2025, there is no public information indicating that former President Joe Biden has signed up for a television show after leaving office in January 2025.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. It's worth noting that a Russian TV comedy show set to premiere in 2025 will depict a fictionalized version of Joe Biden.
That's even funnier.
I'm going to watch that one. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
So that I did hear it, but I don't know if it's true, but I did hear it.
Yeah,
Because the news is always real,
Yeah, right.
It's
Like,
always
like
real.
Google's always
both
real.
left and right.
Yeah,
Google's
yeah,
real.
for sure.
Right.
So, Dan used to live in Stewart, and he got that job. No, I am assuming that means he moves now.
Well, I think, I don't know.
He just built a studio
Right,
over
on the
down the street,
podcast.
and he just got a house in Sewell's Point. I don't think he's gonna move or sell it. I think he's gonna maybe the guy's got enough money to buy a condo or whatever wherever he's got to go, and
go
still
back and
still
forth.
have his, because I guarantee his wife's not wanting to go where he's going, which
I
is in
would
the
agree with
cold.
that.
And the good news is we have a true law enforcement person in a position that
And Secret
understands law
Service.
enforcement
Yeah,
and Secret
absolutely.
Service.
And
So
Secret
that
Service
just
as well.
brings more legitimacy to
And
what's
I
going
like
on.
that. I like, the people that he picked because they had experience.
Right.
Like that's what I like. You just didn't pick it because you're a relative or something like that. Now, the first time that Trump became president. Yeah, he had his family in there and doing all that. I wasn't so keen on that, to be honest with you. But if you notice now that his daughter wants to have nothing to do with politics, she's like,
Oh, yeah.
she's not even endorsing.
She's questionable.
She is.
She's a big Kardashian fan. Her and Kim are like.
So, there was I can't remember, I saw the interview, but I just don't remember the names of the FAA director at the time under Biden. And he was being questioned by that guy, representative from Missouri. And
Josh Hawley?
Yeah, and he was asking, have you ever flown a plane? No. Have you ever serviced a plane? No. Have you ever worked in a tower? No. I mean, the guy had
no
zero.
qualifications.
And he is in charge of the FAA.
Wasn't he black? Was that what it was?
I don't remember.
It was a DEI hire.
There we go.
It was a DEI hire.
He used to play Microsoft Flight Simulator when he was a kid, though.
One time
Palm.
I played
It was
Grand
Palm.
Theft Auto and I flew a plane on PlayStation,
That's right. Doesn't that give me the qualifications?
Well,
Come on now.
that Grand Theft Auto helps you later on in life, because
Yeah,
then you know exactly how to jack a car.
Oh, yeah.
No, that Grand Theft Auto now has something to do with the Trump RV there, because apparently that thing is pretty difficult. You did a good park job. Was there nobody there at the time? Did you come before like 4 a.m. or something?
No, actually, that was a 3-point park, and of course we have a system. Blake got out, but at the end of the day, that was a 3-point park, just like you used to do it when you were in school taking driver's ed.
I didn't do that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, even now, driver's ed, most kids don't even know what a 3-point park.
Well, they use it a K-turn, isn't that correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a K-turn. It's a K-turn.
Is
Okay.
what
Well, now they let go of the steering
we call
wheel and say
that,
park.
in this part of the world, the K-turn.
Okay. Right. Well, we call a lot of them. Well, it is 3-point. Should be 3 or you don't pass.
The K-turn.
Okay. What does K stand for? What does K stand for?
Move on. It stands for the movement.
Okay, well, versus a 3-point turn. Back, up, and in. That's it. But anyway,
A K has 4 points.
okay, but should be called 4-point turn then.
Then do it.
Anyway, so back to at hand.
Is this guy really still here?
He's still here.
I mean, I'm like envisioning this guy just like disappearing. We may have to take this on the fucking ropes again. All right, so. Oh wait, are we going to be muted again? Sorry, we don't want to do that.
Oh, that's
Because
right.
I thought we're not supposed to be censored. I'm a little confused about that,
Me
but
too.
that's okay.
Actually, we won't get into that right now.
Okay, we won't. Why not? Seeing that you're controversial in every other sense. It's okay.
Let's get into censor then.
Wait, into censorship?
Sure.
I'm good with censorship.
Me too. So
What do you
be
want to talk
quiet.
about?
Be quiet.
Well, actually, I got a good
not fair.
starting
Yeah, no,
point for
well, it's
that.
not about being fair. Be quiet.
Go ahead.
So
Watch, he'll hit the button right here.
yeah,
See,
do it.
that's
Do it real
censorship.
quick. Do it.
See, I've now been.
All right, perfect. So what had happened actually before we met is I had a TikTok channel called Logical Conservative. That's the name now of the organization, right? And a week before the election, my TikTok channel was banned permanently. I had about 20,000 followers and over 1 million likes. I noticed as soon as my page got over 1 million likes that I started getting violation after violation, right? And it was called a community guideline violation. And what that was for, people would say crazy things and about Trump, violent things. And I would respond and say, you need to seek help. You have TDS, right? And my response was the violation, but not their comment.
That's absolutely insane.
And so
Your response is valid.
Yeah, but them saying something that is violent remark, it's actually a threat, which I thought was illegal to threaten the president of the United States. But
It is.
I digress. But anyways, I was getting violation after violation I could say the word "the" and I'd get a violation. So I knew they were attacking my profile. And that night on October 28th, it was permanently banned. And then, I looked at my girl and I said, you know what, God always has something better in store for me. So I go, something better is going to come from this, because I did have sponsorships and everything like that.
And here I am.
And 3 weeks
Are you
later.
telling me that this is something better?
Yeah, it is.
Here's Johnny.
So wait, I have a question for you. Were you monetizing that channel?
Oh yeah, yeah. I had
Monetizing.
sponsorships and everything. Yeah.
Okay,
I was
so
making money off of
this
it.
this is my point here.
Yeah.
Did they censor you so that you don't have that they don't have to monetize you?
I mean,
Because
possibly.
I
yeah.
lost the channel. You know that I lost the channel. I was
Yeah.
building very fast, building very fast, building very fast. Big mistake, by the way. Don't ever build too fast. Because if you build too fast, they're going to say, hey, why are you building so fast? But when you get to a certain point, maybe they didn't want you. I mean, if you're a big star like Joe Rogan,
I'm glad you put a plug in for him.
well, he's got the best podcast.
I know, but it's
He does have the best podcast right now. Yeah.
The dude has
Him
like,
and Theo Von.
he's
him
got
and
a
Theo Von are
sign
good.
back behind him that says Joe Rogan. How cool is that? I'm going to get one
you
over
need a
here.
sign right there.
I'm going to get one.
Joe Rogan.
The Stuart Buzz, not Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
No, not the Stuart.
Nah,
That's
Joe
too-
Rogan.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. Some client came in and said, "Why don't you call it Stuart Buzz?" I thought it was a good idea.
No, terrible. See, they're not into marketing. They're probably like a homeless person. They had a buzz.
I'm
So they said the
assuming
Stuart
that you're
Buzz.
the marketing king.
And he was probably out there smoking some weed, so he probably said the Stuart Buzz.
I have no
To
problem
be
with
fair,
that.
he did a
I
good
don't
job
either, but
marketing
I'm
that
just
RV. That RV brings a lot of attention.
It does, but you
And he
knew it
designed it.
would. If you put the ladies from the View on the RV, you would get less reaction in a positive way, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. It would be 95% negative and 5% positive.
You would have to
Whereas
wash
right
it every
now,
day.
we have 95% positive and 5% negative. And even so, in that 5% are some people who claim to be Republican. So that's
Well,
pretty
we talked
funny.
about the rhinos.
Yeah.
If that was on the side of the motorhome, I would wash it every day, regardless, just because who's on it.
Well, you'd have to wash the eggs off.
I'd wash it every day just to wash it. That's being dirty.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Do you guys have any last words that you want to talk about? I know that you like the hair gel that Newsom uses. You're trying to use that for yourself. Why don't you show everybody the hair gel?
Well, actually, if I had as much hair as Newsom, I'd grow it to my shoulders. Okay, I wouldn't try to be all preppied out. All right. So
He's
having said
definitely
that-
preppied out.
Yeah, so,
He's
but
the-
I would-
He's the type of dude that I would have beat up in high school.
Right,
Okay?
exactly.
So he's the type
wait,
of dude
so I have
that
another shirt
wears
that
the
says, "Bring
sweater
back-"
around here like this without putting it on.
That's him.
See?
See, Blake has hair gel.
Not
and a
everybody
sweater.
can have a fashion sense. I understand.
So I was raised with jeans and a t-shirt.
And bring back bullies.
That's it. Just like, okay, so you're going to wear hair gel? Like, come here.
No.
Come here.
What?
That's what I'm going to say to the guy. You're going to wear hair gel?
Yeah.
No. Or you're going to be that preppy? But I did get along with everybody in my high school. But the preppy people, I don't know. I kind of had a problem with them.
You like me.
What do you mean? You're not preppy to me?
Well, he thinks he is. He doesn't wear socks. Do you ever wear
No, you don't wear socks in Florida.
Okay, look.
You wear socks in Florida, sir. See? No socks. No
Okay,
socks.
All right.
These are loafers. That's how you wear
Okay, you're not
loafers.
wearing loafers, are
You,
you? Well,
you wear
he's
no,
got-
I'm wearing Skechers slip-ons.
Well, they're kind of like that.
and you know
so-
why they're slip-ons? Because you don't know how to tie them, right?
I have, since I moved to Florida, I have never had a pair of shoes that has laces.
Right, because you started getting to that
No,
age.
because-
where
No,
it's like
actually, yeah.
slip-ons.
Actually, I'll tell you the truth. The reason behind that is because I used to fly to New York every month to see my daughter. And I was sick and tired of taking my shoes off and then tying them back up. And I was just
On
like,
the
you know what?
plane,
Yeah, you
you
have
took your shoes off on the
Yeah,
plane?
Yeah, you have
dumbass.
to. When you
What
go
is
through
wrong with
TSA.
you?
No, if you have TSA pre-screen, you don't have to. Just FYI.
Freaking pre-screen. I go there. I said, okay. Then they say, take off your belt, take off
Okay.
this, and take
We'll
off
do
that.
the TSA pre-screen. You don't have to do that,
I-
especially at your age.
I wasn't that age.
Anyway, move on.
Okay, I am. So 1 out of 10, 10 being the worst. No, 1 being the worst. Oh my God. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Newsom for president.
10 being
The best.
the best? You mean he is the
On the
president
odds
or
or what? What?
No. Do you want him to be, because you are from California?
negative?
Oh,
It goes below
Negative
0.
10.
Negative. There isn't a negative. Negative. Elon Musk number. Negative. Yeah.
I read an article today that they said there's no way that they can gauge him being the richest man in the world because there's no way that you can possibly know what other people's assets are that are not showing. Hence, money under your mattress or this or that or some stupid shit
Or
like that.
under LLCs and not in your name.
Correct. And that is a very easy way to do things, Mike.
So having said that, a
Just
Newsom for
letting you know.
president, Newsom for president, okay,
Lawyers do it for you too.
okay.
They do.
No, really. So Newsom as president, I would give me the odds and I'll bet.
Now, did you think that he was going to? Honestly, I'm being serious because we all did. We were a little bit nervous that he was going to run for president this time.
He was going to. He was on the list of the short list of trying to figure it out, and then
But he wasn't brown and female, so it didn't
Yeah.
work out.
right.
Ooh,
No, but that's true. Sometimes
I didn't say that. I didn't say
Listen,
that.
I can say it. My fiance is brown.
Well, my two great niece, my great niece and my great nephew are.
Well, having said
brown.
that, Newsom, again, they looked at him and said, look, you've got too much baggage already. So going into 4 years from now and what happened with the wildfires.
I don't know if that was it. The baggage. I mean, look who they put in there. Harris.
No,
That's
I
baggage,
know,
brother.
but we're
That's
talking.
some
listen,
baggage.
Listen, you say, when I say, people say, where are you from? I say California. They go, oh, I'm sorry. How many times have we heard that?
Every time.
Okay, so again.
I say it,
He's
too.
from California.
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry. Yeah, so Newsom's from California. Oh, I'm sorry. The
But wasn't Harris a prosecutor?
Yes,
and a
in
DA?
California. But
In
you
California.
didn't hear that at all in the press, did you?
I did.
Very,
I
they
know.
didn't bring it
Well,
up.
I heard it a lot, but
Well, that's because you listen to a lot and you read a lot and you understand a lot.
Well,
of
no,
politics.
he's not watching cartoons, Mike.
Oh, that's right. You mean it's not on cartoons, Batman and that kind of stuff?
I heard it as well. So
But they didn't pound it, meaning as
Mike pounds it, without a doubt,
wow.
often.
Well, I'm not going to give you the girls' names, okay?
I was figuring out what button to mute. I couldn't mute the button fast enough. I couldn't mute it fast enough. I don't understand why.
Gets back to
Wasn't meant to be.
Alzheimer's.
I know. So seriously,
No, I
the
know.
bottom line is we have not seen Biden since he left office.
Right.
We don't even know if he exists anymore. We don't
Well, I
know.
wonder where he lives. I mean, he's got to be somewhere, right?
Well, he's on vacation.
But where? Yeah, someone had to. If somebody knows where Biden is, just say, "Hey, you don't have a line people can call in on and say, hey, what's going on?"
No, because actually this is something that I can edit, which I won't, but it is. We're pre-recorded.
Right. But wouldn't it be advantageous at some point to have like a call-in line during this? Okay, let me dumb it down for you.
It's really
Wouldn't it
big
be
word.
a cool thing?
it's
Wouldn't it
because I
be
used the word
nice?
yesterday, so it's now in his
Right,
vocabulary.
right. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna have to work.
You know what's amazing? that I got to be 66 years old, and he thinks I'm there at 33 because of him.
You know,
Isn't that amazing?
What's
It is.
funny
It really is amazing.
When-
that
It's
you
amazing.
made it that
It's
long.
amazing.
we're driving home, right? And Jeannie's like, oh, they're breaking up there. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't. My foot is on the brake. Well, I was just letting you know. I wonder how I survived.
I don't know.
Without you.
Isn't
Yeah.
it amazing? It's
like
amazing.
You know, it's funny. I say the same thing to Jocelyn though, because she tells me when I'm driving how to. The same thing, right? And I said it's amazing that I get by when
Blake,
you're at work.
I've seen you drive. It's amazing. You are in a car.
You haven't seen me drive in a car.
Yeah, well, it
only an
doesn't
RV.
matter. Okay.
Only a
Okay.
45-foot RV is
Listen,
when he saw me
tried
drive.
it for
That's
5
not
minutes and
fair.
said, I don't want to do this no more. And he was like sweating and shaking. That's all I know.
every time that
It
you
is a task.
go from point A to point B, do you take the RV or do you drive in the car? Have you ever
RV.
driven in the car?
What with him?
Like if you had to go somewhere, let's take the car.
No,
not
that's
the
my
RV.
ride. So that is my ride.
That is the vehicle.
Yeah, so when I go to, dinner.
Well, most people that
that's
have
my
an
ride.
RV also have a car. It's true. Most
But
people
you know
do.
what? A lot of people pull cars behind those.
Right.
There is no way I'd pull a car behind that thing.
Well,
That'd
it
be
is
another
45 feet long. Yeah, that's
20
ridiculous.
feet, 15 feet. That's crazy.
It's massive. It is
Massive. Turning
But-
corners is ridiculous.
But you can park the RV and drive your
We,
car.
we talked about getting one of those little e-bikes, the electric bikes,
That would be
to put
very
them
funny.
underneath it.
I would love
Actually-
to see him on one of those.
Yeah. Does it have does it have trainer wheels? It has trainer wheels, right?
It has to have
wheels
training
on?
wheels, yes.
Yeah.
When's the
No,
last
those
time
things
you
are
rode a
actually pretty
bike?
fun.
Probably 6 months ago.
That's a lie.
No, seriously.
Why?
Well, before I live in Big Bear Lake where you mountain bike. Okay, the hills, the mountains, trails. You don't know anything about mountain biking.
Yes, I do, you
Okay.
dumbass.
Okay, so that is
Here we go.
That's probably one of the most popular places to mountain bike, Big Bear Lake, California.
One of the most popular places in
No, it is. They have versus the flat streets of Stewart, and you got a helmet on, probably knee pads. You probably won't be able to stand up.
Speaking of that, you
Mouthpiece
have
in.
the
I had a
tour,
motorcycle.
the wannabe Tour de
is that what
France
you mean, a
people
motorcycle?
around here.
I did have a motorcycle. What?
The wannabe Tour de France people that get in all their biking uniform. You know what I mean? They get all like worked up.
Every single person that ride the freaking bike here has tights on.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
hilarious.
are you seriously like?
And they
going
run all
to-
the stop signs.
Right.
And some of them are in the middle of the road, like there's not a line of
Talking
cars
to
behind
each other.
them.
Right.
And it's
Three wide.
it's so ridiculous. And they're like, well, watch for bicycles. It's like, get out of the road. Get out of the road.
So we kind of just tap our horn lightly
But
to get.
Newsom rides a bike. That's why we brought this
And
up.
actually, Mike almost killed somebody on a bike.
No. They pulled out in front
That's a
of
real
me
thing.
on a bike.
No, really, it was
Serious.
scary.
It would be
It
your
was
fault.
scary.
No.
No,
Unless you have a camera.
So you know, on Hutchinson Island, the guy was on the right hand side. We're driving. He's along the bike lane. There's a Mercedes in front of us, a sedan, and the guy had one of those little mirrors on his helmet that he
Right.
could see. And I guess it was a blind spot because he did not look back. He just blindly went over to cross the street
In front of the
Mercedes. The Mercedes had to slam on the brakes and swerve. The Mercedes almost nailed him. And then right after the Mercedes is a 45-foot, 38,000-pound motorhome.
I missed him by a foot.
And if Mike wasn't paying attention, if he had glanced down at his phone for any reason, he would have smacked him.
Yeah, he'd be literally under the bus.
That guy, and no, I mean really, dude. He literally cut in front, like feet in front of this Mercedes. It was scary. Like I was scared for him. I thought that man was about to die.
Florida is very user-friendly bikers, both motorcycle and regular bicyclists. But I don't understand the bicyclists. Like, go on a Saturday or Sunday on Hutchinson, right?
Yeah.
And every single one of them are wearing pants so tight that you can see like everything. And
some of them don't have flattering bodies either.
Right, and I'm
They got their
wondering,
rolls
are
hanging out.
all these people doing Tour de France? Like, why do they all have to dress this way? Why can't you just wear a pair of shorts? And like, is
on
it
a bike,
really?
Because
Really?
that's not style.
They take it serious, Chris.
No, and you know what? Listen, again,
I don't even take my life serious. You know, it's like,
obviously there should be a certain amount of courtesy and common sense. Let's use that word on the road. And what's happened is bicyclists as general decided that road is their road.
They don't have the courtesy or common sense.
I've been driving down the road, let's say wherever, and they're like 5-6 wide,
right.
blocking traffic.
Understood. I see it. So I on the defense of bicyclists, not every person is that way. There
Every
are
other
those.
person.
Right. That's probably true. So 2 out of 5.
I'd say 3 out of 5.
So I'm just saying, not everyone's like that. So you can do all your hate stuff geared towards Mike.
Come on, take a stand, man.
I don't just sit in my RV. Okay, I actually work.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what? I encourage you to go drive that RV, and then we'll have this
Oh, I don't want to drive the RV.
Okay, so
I'm not
then-
capable of driving the
I know you're
RV.
not, but
I'm man enough to say that. No, it's too big for me. I I don't want to do that.
I don't either.
I really don't.
I
It's
want to be
like-
laying on the beach in Costa Rica. That's where I want to be.
right.
And that's where I live half the time. So
But honestly, I really. When are you going?
actually, I'm leaving March 7th for a couple weeks, and then but generally I'll be down there months at a time. So I live in Cali half the time and Costa Rica half the time.
We'll miss you terribly.
I know you.
Not really, seriously. So you make sure that you touch base before you leave, though.
Yeah, I'll touch first, second, third, and then come running home.
Boy, this guy. Listen, dude. One piece of advice I'm going to give you.
Oh, come on. Advice from. Go ahead.
Psychic.
You are not Rodney Dangerfield.
I get no respect. I get no respect. Do I, Mitch? No respect.
It's not. No, you know what? You do get respect, because I've seen people stand in front of your RV with you and with your hand up like this. You do get respect.
A lot more respect than the
Actually,
opposite. Yeah.
actually, it's people realizing that they're free again.
Once they get to know you, they'll realize what the story is about. Unfortunately, people don't give you the chance to get to know you,
Kyle
to
G.
know the story. Right.
Yeah, and actually, as it turns out, when we go places, like for instance, we'll be at Home Depot and just
Oh, yeah,
picking up
the
some-
screw aisle. Remember?
Yeah,
I
the
remember
screw
that.
aisle.
Yeah, the screw aisle,
And
yeah.
literally, so we will spend our day, which is okay, explaining what the RV is about, which is about freedom, about right to vote, and we spend a lot of time that way. Whereas, we get to jump in the motorhome, and go, let's go to here and let's go to the beach.
Let's search up.
But people really appreciate it because they go, wow, I mean, this is really, I'm glad you took the time. And on the flip side is they're taking their time.
And this is a thing that I don't think gets talked about enough, and maybe it's our fault, but we have posted, some interactions with people from, whether it be Cambodia, right? We did an interview, it got 500,000 views from her, a girl that was a nice lady that was from Poland, right? But we hear stories from veterans, legal immigrants that came over here the right way, and a lot of these people, even of the veterans, they'll be tearing up, and it's very touching. But this brings a certain, dare I say the word that Harris used, joy.
Oh, Lord.
It
does.
A common theme.
And what it is this brings more happiness and joy to people's day. We've had people literally turn around, flip a U-turn, come up to us and say, I just had to pull up. I made a U-turn. I saw it. I've been, or some people just actually, when we got here, I've been following you guys for 2 miles. I'm glad you stopped because I wanted to see you. Right. And they're so excited. It makes people's day. Right. And so we're spreading, giving people hope and faith in the younger generation too, because they see me on it, and I'm not saying this to stroke my ego.
I
They
think
see
it's
me
a
on
perfect
it.
mixture, by the way.
Yeah. You got
A really
an
old
elderly
bag.
person.
Right. A dude that should be walking with a walker.
Again,
and
the
then you
check
got
writing
Blake.
isn't going to work first.
So listen, I'm going to put something out there, and I dare you to do it. I want you to take one vet that's old, that's an older vet, maybe a World War II, somebody that's a really old vet, and visit him in front of his house
We've done
and
that.
talk to him.
We've done that.
Did you film it?
Oh, on one case we have, but yes, we have filmed even.
We
like
have
those-
so much film that
We have so
honestly,
much data.
we really need to take an administrative day or hire somebody to do it for us, because it's getting
So you know what?
that bad.
Listen, I just it's every day.
That
people
would make
come up-
such a difference in this dude's life. I mean, it would.
Listen, you have no idea that people have come up to that motorhome, and this is what we hear all the time. It's like Christmas every day. We've had vets that go on the motorhome, look at it, explain it, and literally,
Have tears.
Yeah.
they cry. No, listen, not tears, they cry.
Right.
Okay, and that's just because they've got this deep sense of patriotism
Right.
about the United States, and they've just been rubbed, especially Vietnam. They got crapped on
Oh,
so
yeah,
bad.
big time. Lieutenant Dan.
Well, they got crapped on so bad, and they come back, and it's just a whole different world when they came back. But having said that, we have so much footage of like older people, younger people. What's amazing is the younger people. That's what pushed the needle. I mean, they're more excited about Trump and their future than anybody else. And what we have to remember is that right there is our future.
Correct.
Not necessarily you, that age group.
Well, I gotta say, the dude's gonna go places. He's always handled himself well.
Well, he knows how to draft well.
I knew Blake for probably 5 years now, I guess.
No,
Something
actually,
like
it's
that.
been since 2016.
Yes.
It's going on 9 years.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Isn't that crazy?
That's how old their story is, too.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry to hear that.
no, actually, I'm a fan of his.
Wow.
It's the way it
Thank you.
is.
Then you need a shirt that
Always
says
have been.
I'm a Blake fan versus
Don't be a Mitch.
don't be a Mitch.
Be a Blake.
Thank you,
You know
Chris,
what?
by the
I'm
way.
gonna
Thank
get you
you.
a shirt that says "Be a Blake,"
Be a Blake. That would
not
be
a
funny.
flake.
No, what you might not understand, say your age.
Well, 33, 34 tomorrow.
Happy
Oh, really?
birthday.
You're not getting tomorrow off for your birthday.
Exact same age as my son. My son is also very much like you, but typical person at 34. is nowhere near
flake.
when we were 34.
No way.
It's a totally different world, but you are like born in the wrong time.
Actually, the right time, because we're getting older, so this is the right time.
Right, but he's got an older energy, like
of course.
like an older person mentality. He can handle himself. He talks well. He can get himself out of a
Be careful.
situation. I saw it. I
Well-
saw it. We talked about it. Yeah, you're gonna lose your patience once in a while. Everybody does. Everybody does. When you lost the fight yesterday, so
See, you go back to in your mind what you think shoulda, coulda, woulda.
we're gonna have an arm wrestle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're gonna have a flat out MMA roll going on.
I have
little arm wrestle. No, we're gonna go put a mat out here and we're gonna go.
we need a ring.
No, you don't need a ring because by the
Because you're
time
gonna
you'll
be
be
up
out
against the
door.
wall.
No, you'll be out the door. But anyway, let's not digress into something that we're trying to.
He's
do.
using the word digress because actually Blake just used it a little while ago.
What other word
he
did you
learns
use?
these words, right?
let's
Like,
He's
see.
learning.
Blake
I'm
said
learning.
something. Blake said something. I'm gonna
Blake
use it.
said something.
So he said to Blake the other day, and I heard that. I overheard it. So I'm just letting you know. He said to Blake, can you teach me one word a day, and I can use it?
Actually, it's one word an hour.
So
not a
Blake
day.
now tries to
Mentor
make
me. Blake is my mentor, okay? I mean, I'm 66 years old. I got here. I've been
should
waiting
be-
for 66 years. I've been waiting for Blake to show up. I've been out there, lost in the world, and by God, who shows
You know
up?
what's
at
you know
Blake?
what's funny? He said he was driving. This was
No,
too
this
funny.
is when this is when I was not being coherent.
He's driving and it's nighttime and we're talking
And I
about
was
somebody
tired.
and he's like, listen, when you're around them, you've got to be the voice of reason. He goes, you got to be the
Blake
voice
that.
of reason.
No, that's true though. When you're around like Nate,
It started
and those
laughing.
crazy
I started
people,
laughing.
you do have to be the voice of reason.
He has to be.
That's what I
because
said.
you can.
No, actually, I am the voice of reason for him. Trust me.
Oh, I would
Trust me.
believe that you have to have each other's back.
Yeah. So again, with the people that we're around, at some point we have to step up and be voice of reason, because if we let them run with their narrative, it's just nothing but a shit show.
Well, yeah, it's all fun and games until you punch back.
It's true. That is true. Thank you, gentlemen. And that was quite interesting. The next time we have them on, we will have a brawl. And we will see who wins that brawl. It will be,
Chris will win if it's Mike and Chris.
yes. So, with all due respect.
Once again, the check writing will not be working on the 1st nor the 15th. And we'll see how that works out.
I know my check has been broken for a long. My check writing skills have gone away even for my own business. Thanks to Biden.
Did I say that? I mean, Mike would whoop Chris.
No, now, come on now. Look, Chris, fine. See, he needs to let me be in control of that. See, that's his thing. He wants to be in control of the buttons. See,
It's my effing button.
see, that's what I'm talking about.
It's your own button.
You know what?
Dave. Why don't you learn how to
you know
use
what
it?
we're gonna do? We're gonna do a podcast on the motorhome, and we're gonna have control of the buttons
With what equipment?
from you.
The
Thank you
equipment
very
you
much.
donated to
Okay,
us.
That you
had-
donated.
That has
The
a lot more.
psychic and the genie.
Shut the F up, Bertie. It has a lot more sound effects
Here
than
on
this.
here on CNN.
It has a lot more sound effects than this one does. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. You're done. You're done.
Muted. See.
It's what they did. It's what they did to Trump during the debate.
See, that's it. Like muted. He muted me. Just
You're
like
not
he did
muted
with
anymore.
Trump.
Put your damn headphones on. And put them on the right way, you dumbass. Look at.
What difference thing?
Jeez.
What?
You're not muted anymore.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 2.
Okay, but that is true. They did mute on the. I never saw that in all the years that I watched debates. I've never saw it muted, and I never seen where there was not an audience. It's,
Censorship, right?
right, it was crazy.
Even in a live presidential
Like that button
debate.
Right there.
I'm sorry.
Kind of like that button right there.
This is not censorship because you can still hear because you have a big mouth. You can still hear from over here. So.
You know, it really makes me want to show up tomorrow to do another show, doesn't it?
Look,
It's like I can only handle small doses.
Oh, he hasn't been on the motorhome with you. Talk about small doses.
Just love each other, don't they? I mean, seriously, I don't understand why they don't beat the shit out of each other in the
He
RV.
drinks about 8 of these a day.
Oh God, I don't even know how you could drink one of those.
No, he drinks probably
That's
5 or
insane.
6, including Red Bulls. I mean, he sometimes comes off that motorhome and he's running down the street. Blake, where are you going? Oh, I don't know, but what are you doing? Go. Listen, when he's on the
Circles.
phone, he'll walk 3 miles on a 2-lane.
Circles, circles. So you
And he
put
does,
him
and
on
he
the
does
top
that
of
on
the
the
motorhome.
and he does that on the inside the motorhome. It's 45 feet long, so he'll walk back and forth 40 times.
It's like, Blake, are you okay? Are you okay?
And I'm asking for directions.
Blessed day. God bless America.
All right,
Yes.
all right.
Goodbye.